We're just super excited about these two models, LowriderS and now our new lowrider family member, the LowriderSt. We saw the reasons why LowriderS was so popular. It gave you all of the great character and experience and emotional connection to our big twin powertrain, but in a package that was a little bit lighter, a little bit more nimble.
We had a couple years of production under our belt, so it was easy to see the tweaks that could be made to make that bike, which is already an incredible machine, and just take it to the next level.
First look from far away, you know it's a LowriderS, just the stance, just the presence of it. We retain the black and bronze. That's sort of like a trademark. And the gray is really hot in like a custom cars, hot rod scene right now. It's just the perfect secondary color.
The bike performs exactly how it looks, that raw, unbridled feel to it. We bumped the 114 up to a 117. It's really big news for LowriderS fans. The powertrain is putting out 125 foot-pounds of torque, so it's a noticeable kick in the pants. We've got the heavy breather intake, along with a new exhaust system.
LowriderS gets the 117, which is really cool, and that's the biggest motor that we have out of the box. We've also played with the location of the instrumentation and the suspension. We brought the bike up off the ground a little bit more to give it a little more lean angle. We've also taken the instrumentation and moved it from the console and the fuel tank and put it up into the rider's eyesight. And that's something that we heard directly from riders, that they wish they could had a little less movement in the neck and eyes to actually read the gauges of the motorcycle. If you think about the quintessential piece of DNA for modern Harley-Davidson, it's LowriderS. So what's going to be the natural progression?
The LowriderSt, we are super excited about what this is going to bring. This gets to that customer that may not need the full Grand American Touring, but is really looking for that performance package and some of the protection that the fairing brings.
There was a fundamental shift that we saw happening a few years back. What folks were doing is they were leaning into performance, and really was taking root in Southern California.
We were seeing a lot of customers modify their bikes by increasing the displacement, tweaking the suspension, going through the expense of putting saddlebags on the bikes, adding aftermarket fixed fairings.
They were either restoring FXRTs or FXRs and putting that fairing on there, or they were taking the fairing at a swap meet and trying to, figure out how to get it on their Dyna. A lot of the shows that we pay attention to around the world, we started to see just a couple bikes that were like this. There'd be in a sea of 100 bikes that were kind of executed in the old manner, you would see 2 or 3 bikes that were done in this new way. And that's how we spot a trend. And that's where you have to go in and say, is there something here? Is this an anomaly, or is this something that's going to catch on?
We headed into the project with the pure emotion of what we want it to look like. Just like any other Harley, there's always respect to the history, being able to trace back the family tree. We have so much respect to FXR and FXRT. Wheelie G and design team came up with that iconic look. When I sketched this bike, this fairing in particular, I believe the bike deserves its own new identity, something more modern.
This is a purpose-built fairing. The styling team really took their time to massage it to get it to the spot where you see it today. You've got the side ducts straddling the headlight, which is a direct throwback to the 80s FXRT. And through CFD simulation, the aerodynamic package that you've got on this vehicle is really dynamite.
LowriderS is a little more relaxed cruiser. This one, I wanted riders to be in charge of the bike, sitting on top of the bike rather than sitting in the bike.
This is a true lightweight bagger. It's got the performance punch, that 125 foot-pounds of torque, and also comfortable on the long haul. The bike comes standard with cruise control. We wanted the tall suspension in the rear, and that was a 56mm shock. We did shift the saddlebags vertically 2 inches on a motorcycle compared to the Sport Glide, and you can remove the saddlebag in seconds.
For LowriderSt, we have a suite of parts and accessories products. And this audio system for LowriderSt, it integrates seamlessly, and it's going to be loud. Customers are going to want to hear this thing with a full face helmet on, because that's how they ride. So we have something that's waterproof, it's going to withstand the elements. It's truly the perfect package for our audio and performance customers.
I still remember the excitement. First time we saw the bike, which was the mirror image of my sketch.
When we stepped back and looked at the finished product, every single person that I saw walk by that bike just stopped in their tracks and had that wow moment. Like that's special.
I think to some customers, this is going to be their version of touring. It's a new personality. It's a slightly new way to tour. If you live somewhere where you want to do some canyon carving or just some cruising, and, some performance riding, and a couple times a year you want to throw on some gear and head to Daytona or head to Sturgis or head to Fakkersee, Lowrider ST is just a great choice. It's the perfect combination of performance and touring.